All right. All right. Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Disruptive Spark, where we talk with our favorite business owners, leaders, and partners that are doing incredible things in their industry. And I couldn't be more excited to share not just someone in the industry, but actually one of our clients that we have the privilege to work with. I want you to meet Dr. Staci Weiner, and she is the founder and owner of Apple Psychological. Staci, say a quick hello.
Hello, nice to be here. Thank you for having me.
Yes, yes, yes. Now tell everybody very quickly, what is your business and how do you help people?
Yes, so my business is called Apple Psychological. We're a group practice, a group mental health practice. And I like to say we're a one-stop shop for mental health services. We do a whole bunch of different things to help people just live their best life. We provide group therapy, individual therapy, couples therapy. We also have coaching services, parent training, and we work with just the whole gamut of people. So, children, adolescents, adults, families, etc. And we also provide psychological evaluations when needed, which is really important in helping people to understand and really get to the root of what is going on with them so that we can provide the best treatment possible.
I love it. And this is one of the reasons I think Staci and I connected so well is we do the same thing from a business standpoint. You have to have metrics, you have to have figure out the root causes. You have to be able to show people where they are in progression. It's very, very similar to helping someone run a business, to helping someone expand their mental ability that, in there and to feel better and to all the things that we're looking for. So I love that that's what you do. And we're going to actually share some ways that you can take advantage of some of the things that Staci does in corporations as well. So many of you might have personal needs that you're looking for, but we do know that the linkage between creating mental health and awareness in your organizations, with your leaders, with your sales teams, and from a client standpoint actually changes business impact. So story for another day, but that is something that Staci can help you with as well. But most importantly, this is what I want to share with everybody. So Staci, how long have you owned your business now?
So we just had our 20-year anniversary.
Can
Yeah.
we just take a minute and like celebrate that? When I was
Yes.
looking at this is how Staci and I actually got connected because she was looking to have a company celebration, which is something that we do here at Disruptive Spark and believe is so valuable and purposeful for so many reasons. But here's some statistics I think everyone might be interested to know. So originally we were talking about how many businesses make it to a 10-year, right? Just on average, how many businesses take it to a 10-year? I think you'd all be surprised to know that within the 10 years, 65% of businesses that have started are no longer in existence. Sometimes it's for good reason, sometimes it's for not. But the truth is, very few companies, only 45% of companies are still around after 10 years. But Staci, do you know what happens to that number after that next decade? So other companies hitting a 20-year milestone, what percentage do you think are still standing?
I don't know, but I'm sure it goes down a lot.
It goes down so much. Would you be surprised if I told you that at the 20-year mark, only 20% of businesses are still in operation,
Wow. Yeah, I
right?
understand. Yeah.
So, to celebrate these milestones, whether it's a 5, a 10, a 20, I don't care your first year, like celebrating these milestones. Let me ask you this. Why was it important to you to celebrate this milestone?
Yeah, I just really, in the field, the mental health field, we don't like to, humility is really valued and we don't really like to, kind of promote ourselves. But I really, really felt that 20 years in business is a really valuable and amazing feat. So, and
It
I
is.
know personally like how much I've been through in the 20 years and how many obstacles and challenges that we faced and changes that we made along the way, and we're still here. So I wanted to share that with my team. I also have deep gratitude for my team because I could not do this alone. So I wanted to show my team how grateful I am for them and also give them an experience that they can remember in honoring the practice and our mission and the fact that we're around 20 years. So
And honestly, I can tell you we did just that. It was an incredible celebration. And I think for a small business owner, a lot of times we feel like, oh, we can't afford it. You said one of the biggest things I hear all the time, self-praise stinks, right? It's always our most beautiful attribute and our biggest curse when it comes to growing a business is it's not self-praise, it's simply allowing more people to know the good work that you do. And being a business of 20 years is a hallmark of being a good business that provides the right level of care and service. That the more you get brave enough, like you got brave enough to make the investment, to move through all that hesitation, you get a lot of rewards and results for that. So I love it. So set the stage for us. What was your original vision around what you thought the celebration was going to be?
Yeah, I really didn't have so many details. I just knew the idea, the feeling that I wanted everyone to have when they were there. I wanted everyone to appreciate and feel the mission of our company, which is, to provide the most ethical, the best service that we can, and to help people just live better lives. To be simple about it, but really just to help others, and also to understand the impact and the changes that we're making in people's lives. I wanted that to be very clear, that the work that we're doing is hard work, but such rewarding work. So, and I also wanted to give them an experience where they're learning and they're thinking about, they're reflecting and thinking about their own practice and their own goals for themselves professionally, and how they can get from point A to point B.
I love it.
And
So,
and the other
go ahead.
piece,
Yes.
sorry, is that
No,
I
go.
wanted people to connect, because we see each other virtually all the time. We don't see each other in person. So it was an amazing opportunity for everybody to meet each other in person and connect and bond. So I think that was probably the biggest advantage of it, is the bonding.
And that is such a thing. Like we do work so remotely now, which is a beautiful part of life, I believe. But so creating these moments where the team can actually come together, I think was one of my favorite things that being a part of it. Like, so when I'm in such a unique position is that I get to plan these things with people. I get to help them to bring their visions to life. And then I get to be there for the moment. And so I was there, and I think the thing that I heard from your team the most, and I'm curious if you feel the same way, their favorite thing was the coworker game show. Do you agree?
Yes. Yes. Which would not be predicted at all. Like, we would not predict that.
It was the smallest thing we did. It was probably the least expensive thing we did. It was like the thing we thought about last, right?
Yeah.
Of all the things we did a lot of things,
Yeah.
but it was that coworker game show. It was that opening night where we just sat and I asked questions, and people just didn't even know things about each other, which is really the whole point of that game. Is you do work with people all the time, but we often know very little about them. And you in particular, your group is just super diverse. So not only are they like locationally diverse, but ethnicity wise, religion wise, stage and age of their own business growth, like everybody was across the boards. So to bring that group of people together and show them their commonalities was hands down the best feedback we got, as well as like to your point, just something that they really cherished as well. Tell me about of all the special touches you did. So you had a lot of things, right? We had an awards night, we had gift bags in the room. We planned 2 learning experiences. We brought in a videographer. They took
Yes.
pictures. We did headshots. Even some of your consultants, your therapists got their own videos. Like we did a lot in like 24
Nice.
hours. Like we were the only there one night and like one evening and one day. And we managed to put a lot in there. What was your favorite thing?
Oh, there were so many favorite things. I think I enjoyed the evening where we had dinner, and I spoke to the whole team about what what Apple Psychological means and what we do, and how proud I am of our mission and what we give to others. And I talked about each clinician in particular, and each person who works at Apple Psychological, and talked about their strengths and what they bring to the team individually, and provided them with a nice apple, like a crystal apple that's engraved and with
That
their
was my favorite
name.
gift. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
it
my
was.
favorite gift. It was so meaningful. It was
Yeah.
so touching. Were they surprised by that?
They were. I think that they were really surprised and, taken aback by it. They thanked me after, and they were very happy to be a part of that experience and to be valued and recognized for the work that they're doing. So I
Yeah,
think
I
that was my
thought, me
favorite
too.
part.
I love that. I love that. So now that you're on the other side, right? What are some of the benefits that you're seeing from that investment?
Yeah, I think that more people know who we are because we were able to put videos up of our team. I think it also brings some clarity to our mission and what we do and how passionate we are about it. We had some new great headshots, great pictures, and stuff like that. So that made our website better. Yeah, so I think that when more people know who you are, then you're going to get more business and grow. So it was, yeah. So I think that that's the benefit, is really your team feels better, and if your team's feeling better, you're going to perform better, and you're going to therefore get the benefits of that.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And I feel like the thing that we hadn't even thought about doing and then ended up doing really was bringing in the video people.
Oh
And
yeah,
to me, that was an investment worth making. Um, having you had your
100%.
step and repeat banner done, we had headshots done, like those things have longevity to them. You being able to leave with like the footage from that and being
Yeah,
able to use that, we're continuing to talk about every quarter, how do you go back into that footage and reuse it? So, you make the one-time investment, but from our standpoint at Disruptive Spark, like how does a one-time investment get used multiple times, right? We don't want people, you're not always going to celebrate 20 years. You're not always going to make the big investment. And we want you to get the maximum value out of it. So there's the night, but there's all the things that go on after. So for me, I think that was one of my favorite things, was having you making that investment in bringing in the video and really, like, what I would say is memorializing that event. All right, so this is always my favorite question because hindsight is your best educator, right? You only become wise after you do something. So now that you're wise when it comes to hosting your, like, a company event as a small business, and I want everyone to know this, like, I hear from small business owners all the time, I can't afford it, I can't do it. No, it's where there's not enough people. Like, Staci runs the practice, she is a practice leader, and maybe what, like, 10 to 15 advisors, right? Couple of
yes,
offices, right? So I
yes,
mean,
two
it's a
offices. Yeah,
nice size business, but it's not like a gigantic org, right? We're not a
right,
Fortune 500 company.
right.
That usually are the companies that do that. Like, most small business owners don't believe they can or that they should. So you're proof positive that that is true. However, now that you've done it, is there anything you wouldn't do, or is there anything you would do differently next time?
Hmm. That's a hard thing. I think I did everything I really wanted to do. I
Okay.
think it went really, really well. I did have, I can tell you some of my thoughts about it, where
Sure.
I was worried that we were too small to do something like this, that maybe people wouldn't come, that, yeah, I was like,
That's
maybe I'm
always
gonna do,
me. Like, I don't like having parties because I'm afraid
yeah.
people won't come. That's a
I'm like,
real fear. Like,
yeah.
that's a real fear.
I'm like, maybe I'm the only one here, like, so all these things. And then, and a few people weren't able to make it at the last minute. And I was concerned. And you know what? It was beautiful. Like, the people who were there really enjoyed it, and it was amazing. So, really, I don't think there's really much that I would change about it. I think we planned it for a very long time. I'd say a year at least.
Yeah.
That's in the right. So I think that
Yeah.
we really thought about all the little touches that we wanted to do.
I think
And
that's a great point. Like, this wasn't a
yeah,
knee-jerk reaction. Hey, we're going to
no,
do this, and we threw it out the next day.
yeah,
Like, there was thought process. You and I personally met probably for at least 3 months, if not longer,
yeah,
after you had probably been in contemplation about this for a while.
yeah,
And on once you finally booked the space, then that was how we got connected through the event planner. But then we spent probably a good 90 days really like mapping it out,
yeah.
moving things around, feeling really buttoned up and solid about it. So I like that call out. Like, it wasn't a knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah, yeah. It took a lot of planning and thought, and I think that's why it came out so great because we really did plan it in advance, and I thought a lot about my vision and what I wanted to accomplish. So it was wonderful and absolutely worth it.
So if there's another business owner out here that maybe is celebrating 1 year, maybe it's
Mhm.
5 years, maybe it's 7 years, maybe they
Mhm.
just had a stellar year and they launched something new and they just really want to celebrate with their team, what would you tell them?
I would say that look, celebration that you should do as many celebrations as possible, right? Like, and
Yes.
there's always a budget that you can do. You don't have to go overnight. You could do it for a few hours, So there's always a way to celebrate your team. I kind
Mhm.
of tried to go big because it was 20 years, so I
I mean, it was
really
20 years.
so I kind of was like, um, yeah, but I really think that you don't have to do all of the things that I did. You can celebrate in smaller ways, and it's always worth it because
That's great
yeah,
feedback. That's great feedback to share. And maybe you want to work your way up to something. So maybe you're not ready for the big celebration, but getting a couple of small things under your belt builds that confidence, builds that muscle, right? Like, how nerve-wracking was it for you to do this on a scale of 1 to 10? Like, was it
yeah.
like before you did it, what do you think
Before I
your
did it,
stress level around it
I
was?
would say 7 to 8. I was pretty
Stressful,
nervous.
yes.
Yeah, I mean, but I think that if when you're giving a message to other people that they're important, I really think that, that feels good. I know that it feels good for me when other people tell me that I'm important. So I think that to tell other people that they're important and to value their efforts um, really resonates and extends for a long period of time. I think people like really appreciate that. So
I
I
love
kind
it.
of held on to that. Yeah.
That's a great way to like get through all that normal noise and chatter, right? Like,
Yeah.
that's just what we do when we're doing something new. Like, that's just what happens, right? It's very common. I always say, like, when your stress dial turns up, what's the complement to it, right? What is the thing that you say to turn that stress dial down? And you gave a
Yeah.
great way to navigate through that. But now that you've done something like this, what's your confidence level? Or let's do the same thing. Like, what would your stress level be going into it the next time? So it was a 7 the first
Yeah.
time. What is your stress level now?
Definitely like a 2.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like almost non-existent. So
Yeah.
you're proof positive. This is why I think you've been in business for 20 years, right? Because you faced obstacles and challenges and you just figured out how to navigate your way through. I think it's one of the things that corporations can really bring in from the world of therapy. I know we rely on you as one of our therapeutic partners to give us great insight around how to help manage workplace stress, especially workplace leader stress, because we know that that is one of the biggest reasons that a company will be profitable, will make their quota, right? It will be how they're viewed by their employees, what is being said about them online. Almost all of that goes back to the mental wellness of the leadership team. And
Yeah.
that could be the strategic leadership team. It could be the divisional leadership team. But I actually think the core place to invest there is that frontline leadership team. The research shows the better equipped they are to manage stress, the better your client satisfaction rates are, and the longer tenure your people stay, which are two of the biggest expenses in a company. Turnover and churn and burn because our clients aren't happy with the result. So we don't always think about it at that level, but that really is what you and your profession brings to the table, and helping more owners to really understand that valuable lesson, I think is a great point of intersection. And one of the reasons we often come to you when we're like, we don't know what to say either. Like, I don't know what to say either. I need to go to the professional. So there's lots of places where Staci and I kind of overlap and look to share insights together. So listen, I'm going to thank you so much for being a part of this great conversation. And I'd love for you to just close with, if you, we're going to share some ways that owners, anybody watching, who's an owner, a leader, a divisional leader in a company, we want you thinking about celebrating successes, but we also want you thinking about how are you managing the stress in the environment that you have control over, and that you should be thinking about people like Staci and the services and the programs that they offer that sometimes aren't always the first thing you would think about. So we're going to put a couple of those things in place that you can connect with Staci and her team directly. They do some pretty amazing things. But if there's anything you wanted to mention quickly, I would love for you to have an opportunity to do that. Is there anyone that comes to mind for you most in that heading?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. So we provide, actually in February, we're doing a presentation for a law firm on work-life balance and burnout. So that's a great, I think, topic for businesses to really understand how to manage their stress and burnout, and how to have a great work-life balance that leads to happiness and productivity and all of those great things.
Without a
So
doubt. And not for
yeah.
nothing, it's not a negotiable anymore. It's like this young generation has said, no, thank you. I'm not working for you if you're working me to death. Like, it's just not, you won't be in business in the next 5 years if you don't shift that mindset.
Yeah, yeah. So we do presentations to that effect, as well as other trainings. We also do individual and group therapy. We do parent training. I mean, I know as a parent, like if my kids are not settled and things aren't worked out with them, then I'm at work, I might be stressed. So, dealing with children and parenting issues and family issues are important in terms
Yeah.
of, your work-life balance and that,
Without
managing.
a doubt. And any of like I just know I run the spiritual retreats at my son's school. And every time we run one of those, it's for the parents. Now, what you're
Yeah.
like, but wait a minute, the high school is for boys, but it's the parent that pays for the high school. So like
Yeah.
creating that relationship with them and really connecting to them has been so valuable as a school
Yeah.
community, especially school community that depends on tuition to continue to be in operation. You know, things like that, bringing in local therapists, things like that that can do these sessions for parents is like tuition gold, believe it or
Yeah.
not. We don't always think that way, but it's true.
Yeah. So, I welcome you to look at my website. We have a variety of different services listed there, which really go in depth into why they are beneficial. I'm happy to speak to anyone who wants to talk about services and what they can do to help their company. I have a lot of, great ways that companies to help their businesses thrive and to support their colleagues and coworkers. So yeah, thank
All
you.
good. All right. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you
Congratulations to
very
20
much.
years.
Thank you. Okay.